Good morning, you all. Let's discuss India-China relations. In my previous lecture, we discussed the thing that China is one of the fastest growing economy in the world, one of the fastest growing powerful country in the world. So it is very important that we discuss India's relationship with China. When we talk about the past, when we look into the past, before the advent of Western imperialism, India and China were great powers. They were very important political players on the land of Asia. But there was very less interaction between the two. China's influence was executed in Mongolia, Korea, some parts of Indochina, and of course Tibet. That was the region which accepted Chinese authority. And when we talk about India's power, it was limited in its own region. So when we talk about the cultural or economic or the political interaction between these two countries at that time, it was quite limited. Though both of them, they had been very powerful players on the land of Asia, but their interaction was quite less. Of course, trading was done through this Silk Route, but still it was quite limited. We had certain constraints, maybe technological constraints, or maybe the dangers which were involved over there on the route or whatsoever. But still it is a fact that the interaction was quite less. Now in 20th century, when these two countries, they had to frame a foreign policy to have relationship between the two, they faced certain problems which we were not expecting, because having the same kind of a past. In 1947, India regained independence from Britain and China expelled foreign powers from their land. So we were expecting that having the same kind of a past of imperialism, we and China, we would be helping each other, we would be coming together to give a new shape to Asia. It would be quite easy for us to have good help from China, we would be helping them, and all those are the things. And even this slogan, Hindi Chini Bye Bye, was also given. But things did not end so beautifully. We had issues, and still we have. And one of the biggest issue is China's taking over Tibet. In 1950, China took over Tibet. Initially, we did not intervene much, we did not react much. We took it as the internal matter of China. We took it as a bilateral matter, and since we did not want to we did not want to have any kind of lose any kind of opportunity to have good relationship with our neighbor, we did not intervene much. But things took an ugly shape when, of course, we had to give on humanistic approach. Being a very big country of Asia, we had to give shelter to Dalai Lama, and he still lives over there at Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh, which accelerated the anger of China. China took it as intervention in their own issues, and as a result of that, our relationship with China started taking a bitter turn. And of course, we had some border issues also with China. China claimed that some part of Arunachal Pradesh and Aksai Chin, it belonged to them, which we were not ready to accept. We said that this is how the Britishers had left India, and we are not going to have any kind of a change in our map. This entire Arunachal Pradesh region and this entire Aksai Chin, it belongs to us. But China claimed over there, and as a result in 1962 we had a war which affected even Indian domestic policy also, domestic leadership also. We had to face certain reverse also, military reverse also, and as a result our relationship with China, we can say at that time it was not so good. But after the economic reforms in 1970s, when in 1978 China started welcoming foreign exchange, China started welcoming foreign investment, and after the completion of the Cold War, when we declared ourselves to be an open market, China realized this thing that we are the biggest consumer market of Chinese products. And even we realized that we cannot discard Chinese presence in Asia. China is a very powerful neighbor of India, and that is the reason we are this economic benefit it played a very important role in melting the ice between India and China, and still it is. Still there are issues, there are certain reasons for which India and China, we are not agreeing with each other, especially in 1998 when we had gone for nuclear explosion. It was actually a retaliation to Chinese nuclear help to Pakistan. China has provided nuclear health technology to Pakistan. That is the reason in 1998 we had to go for nuclear testing. And other than that, China supports Bangladesh and in military area, and China supports in certain other areas as well, which are not liked by India. India feels that certain India's security strategy is affected if China supports some activities of Bangladesh and Pakistan, especially related to terrorism, which is not liked by India, and it has played a very important role in still having some eyes in the relationship between India and China. But we cannot say that we are having a bad relationship with China, and the basic reason behind the smooth relationship between China and India is the bilateral economic benefits. We cannot deny the importance of China on the land of Asia. At the same time, China cannot deny the huge buying capacity of Indian population. That is the reason 2 years back when we had this Doklam issue, we did not move a single step back. Our army, our armed forces, it remained there they were, and where they were, and when Indian population started boycotting Chinese products, China realized that how important India is in increasing their economic growth. And that is the reason India and China's relationship is quite peaceful. Of course, it is totally based on mutual economic benefits. But things are not so bad. Even when we talk about other dimensions, there are certain issues over which we agree with each other. And one of the important issues is we are having similar policies in international economic institutions like World Trade Organization. We represent the same kind of ideas when we talk about Asian benefits in international organizations like WTO or International Monetary Fund also. When we talk about, there are certain other policies also, there are certain other dimensions also over which, India and China, we agree with each other, we agree with each other, and one of them is environmental degradation. When we discuss in United Nations, when we discuss the growing global warming or environmental degradation and all, the approach, the kind of holistic approach which should be applied by all the countries to control this global warming or environmental degradation, or this policy of development, holistic approach, everything we agree with each other. So this is how we hope that Indo-China relationship, it's going to be quite peaceful one, because both are the countries which are having mutual respect for each other, which are having mutual economic benefits from each other, and having bad relationship with the neighbor, which is quite a powerful one. Even when I'm looking from both the perceptions, I'm talking about China also, and I'm talking about Chinese perception also, which they accept. I guess it's not a good idea to have bad relationship with a neighbor if they are a powerful one. Thank you.